Hello everyone, just a request, a short request right now. Those who are not full members or maybe who can join the video, can you join YouTube?
Hello
Just
everyone, just a request, a short request right now. Those who are
so applicant is not able to join because we are there are more people already on the call. So those who just need to watch the election, please join the YouTube link. You can see it's already live there. So we have less people on the call and other people can join here. It's already live on YouTube, so you guys can click on the link and you can watch it. And those who need to ask questions, be here in the call. Those who just want to watch it, please check on YouTube. So we have less traffic here. Great. Now people are able to join. Perfect. Welcome, Zinu. Nida, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you so much for showing up.
welcome to MCVP elections.
Okay, thank you so much, Nida, for coming here. So just to inform you again, the election here, 5 minutes you will have for presentation and 15 minutes for questions around. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you can start your presentation whenever you are ready, and then right after your presentation, we'll have 15 minutes for questions around.
Okay.
Cool.
I guess you can see my screen right now.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yep.
Just share it.
Okay. So I'm starting now. Hi guys, my name is Nida Altu and I'm applying from ISEC in Turkey. And I've been for ISEC from 2015. I also been in Estonia in one conference actually. So I will be applying for marketing, and my application talk will be all about marketing. So I divided my strategies on two parts, offline and online. Offline parts usually will go the most of the parts that I was talking about, and online parts only be the support. So for the offline parts, the main attraction should be planned as offline work in Estonia's market, because when I talk with the LCPs and the previous MC members, they push me to they talk about how the offline marketing activities worked really well for the operations. So main attraction should be goes along the offline work. And MC should brainstorm the marketing ideas with the national plenary, especially with the LCPs and the LCVP marketing, because they are the ones who know their market better than the international MC member. As I told, maybe I know how to apply marketing strategies, but they know their market and what to do in their market. And there should be events outside the universities. The whole marketing activities right now going along the universities and inside the universities. There are info events in the universities, info tables inside the universities. But maybe we can try something with the NGOs, maybe outsider event, or maybe UN centers in the country. I checked, and there's some United Nations centers in the Estonia, so maybe we can work with them. And attraction materials should be planned well and earlier, even for the corporate meetings. Yeah, we should have materials for the corporate meetings as well. And for the attraction materials, I have a plan that if I got selected, maybe we can plan the attraction materials going to use the whole term from the summer, and I can publish it from Turkey, because published materials are 6 times cheaper in Turkey, and I can carry with me to Estonia. This is just an idea, and it can be better and variable. And online part, online activities should run mainly for supporting offline activities. What I'm saying there, we should promote our offline activities in our online channels such as Facebook and Instagram. Also for the corporate meetings, we should share our corporate meetings without the results from the LinkedIn, so we can attract our future corporate partners. And Instagram should be main online attraction channel for the market, and Facebook should use for the events and for university group promotions. What I mean university group promotions, in universities there's a lot of student community centers, student community groups. So there are some Facebook groups, and we can share the OGX opportunities with the talk with the managers of that groups, so we can directly share in that group, so it will be more direct reach to our customers. There should be advertisement. I know that we are not earning that much money, but if we target our market right, we can have a lot of euros within a €5. And LinkedIn should use more effective for the future corporate agreements. So if we share our meetings in LinkedIn, if we share our opportunities in LinkedIn, maybe it's not going to give its potential in this year, but it will give some results in the next years as well. So it's just a sustainability work, but what we are going to do LinkedIn. It's not a focus, but it's something that we should do. And I didn't wrote the number goals, because goal settings for operations in marketing side should go along to operations numbers within with the numbers that LCs already decided. So should be alongside the LCs goal setting. So if LCs have their goals in the next term, we will decide the marketing goals according to LCs goals. So I think that's it from my side.
Thank you so much, Nida, for your presentation. Now we start with the question, answer round. Okay, so the question will go this way. Question from me, MCP Ileg, then Talin, Tartu, and MC Karan. So question from my side is that what are the channels that have not been capitalized till now for marketing, and how you're going to capitalize on that unutilized, uncovered channels in your term?
One little clarification: you can take 1 minute to think, to make up your mind, and then 3 minutes for your answer.
Okay, can you repeat the question again?
The question: what are the channel of communication, marketing communication, have not been utilized, not been capitalized by ISEC, and how you're going to utilize that kind of channels in your term?
So I can say that I'm not going to talk about ISEC, but I will talk about ISEC in Estonia is not currently using that much. Is I think YouTube and Facebook live actions. There should be like live actions in the events, also the explanation videos for the EPs who want to apply, also for the membership applications. And as I wrote on my application, there should be WhatsApp channel for the applicants who wants to apply ISEC as a member or also for an EP, and they can ask their questions 24/7 whenever they want to, and we can answer as an entity their questions directly in there. I think that these two channels would be the main newly applied channels for the ISEC in Estonia, I guess.
Thank you so much.
So now Talin can ask their question. Haider, are you here?
Hi.
Okay, can you hear me well?
Yep.
So my question is about the point where you suggested that we do something like an open space meetings instead of an info evening. So in our previous info evenings and info tables, we didn't have that much attendance. So I'm just wondering, what are your strategies to ensure high attendance for those open meetings that you suggested?
So my strategy will be the plan the events that we're going to organize from the beginning of the term, what we're going to do in when we're going to do, and then start the attraction phase like the months before the event, and attract people to event from, like, we should add some glittery points for people to join. So maybe we shouldn't say open space meeting, but ask what you want to ask about ISEC. Like, we should have a better title maybe, and we should attract people not only online side but the offline side. Maybe you can have agreement meetings with the university club, and you can talk with them to attract your members to our meeting, and we will provide them some information, and we will have some treats for them and so on. And maybe you can add some lottery at the end of this open space meeting. So maybe you can just gift a person to global volunteer experience, just this is just an example. It shouldn't be a global volunteer experience, but something that attract people more. So I think that this is the shortly what I would give an advice for this question.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you. And now Tartu can ask their question.
Yep.
Okay, so question would be, in your application there was you mentioned something that downstream relations are not for you after work. Could you clarify what that means more?
Oh, this is the thing that I really care about. After finishing our job at the office, I don't want to feel with the people that I'm working with or people I'm leading with I'm the leader, you're the member thingies. So I want to be friends outside the office with the members, also the MC members and the Mayank as well. So this is not my I like being friends with people. I'm a friendly people. So this is what I mean about the downstream relationships. There shouldn't be I am your leader, you should do it outside the office. This I shouldn't do this to any member of the ISEC in Estonia, and I don't want to feel something from this thing from anyone, I guess.
MC time. Hi, Nida. Thank you for your speech. As people know, Nida was already part of ISEC in Estonia. So if you could take this 3 minutes and evaluate your contribution to the digital marketing strategies in ISEC in Estonia while you were digital marketing board chair.
Mm-hmm. I can't say I didn't contribute that much. Just I feel guilty about it, but I should consider when I was applying for the chair of digital marketing board in Estonia, but I had a really tough time in my life at that term when I was working for the ISEC Estonia digital marketing board. But I tried to manage all the things together, but it wasn't that much effective, as I can say. But what I can say that I guess we had with the team, we had a structured plan. Thanks to Sergio, actually, I was helping him to manage the team more effectively. Maybe approaching people and asking them what we can do more, or maybe adding some additional parts and from my knowledge. But I can say that I didn't add a lot of things from my side because I knew what I'm capable of, and I didn't give my 100% when I was in digital marketing board chair. If I have to be honest, I should say that if I'm going to apply for the MC, I should admit that because I wasn't that effective. It's not my performance was not defining for me. So I can say that about my contribution to ISEC in Estonia as a digital marketing board chair. But before that term, when I was an NST in ISEC in Estonia, I can say I did more than the DMB chair time. So it should be this one as an answer.
Thank you so much, Nida, for your question. So now we have last one question to be asked. So no question from my side. So is there any question from Talin, Tartu, or MC?
Yes, I do have a question. So since you did the Youth Speak Forum in Turkey, what would be the, let's say, 3 main action steps that you would take to make sure that it becomes successful in Estonia?
The first one would be the corporate relationship with the companies who is going to help to organize Youth Speak Forum event. The second will be the guest that you are going to put Youth Speak Forum, like who is going to give speeches on the event and who is going to talk about what. You should have strong partnership for the people who is going to talk. For example, we got an agreement with the Sony and I think it like the biggest companies in Turkey, and they got a speech, and that's attract morely in the people. And the third part would be the PR activities. You have to plan all the things from the beginning, and you should approach the people from the newspapers, from the even do you know someone from the school paper. You should go and talk with them. You should go to you should email the televisions. Like I personally emailed all the newspaper in Turkey who's publishing this kind of things in like Turkey, like even the most popular newspaper, and they actually showed our event in their pages. So this could be your main focus. This three could be should be your main focus when you're organizing Youth Speak Forum.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Nida, for your question. We have 1 minute left. If anyone have any last question, or we can stop here.
I can. Yay! Sorry, Tarto. Nida, I would disagree with your answer, but still. Can you share, because you have the uniqueness of working with Estonians already, comparing to other applicants, can you share with us what are 3 main positive and 3 main negative things that you saw in the members of ISEC in Estonia?
Okay. So positive part for me is the people in ISEC in Estonia, they are really passionate. Like they know what they want to do in ISEC. And second part would be they are really disciplined, that I show. Like they know how to separate their ISEC life and their personal life. And I will talk about, like, I had a trouble with this in the minus parts, but the third part would be they have, if they want to do something, they are doing, and they are doing really well. So especially I will talk about the silver, that part. Like sometimes he just have like his school meetings and like he has to study, but even he had the work that he is doing, he just did perfectly, and like he didn't leave any gap. So this three would be my positive points. And my negative points, during my term, the Estonian people was not that approachable and easy to access, let's say that, because like I'm coming from an entity that people were online. Like if you need something, you just call people, and even the middle of the night, and they are doing in ISEC. So it was different for me. So I had a trouble with it, but I get used to it now. And I can't say more than this, actually. I mean, they know their market and they know what to do. Like, I don't have really negative points. That's why actually I'm applying the ISEC in Estonia. I feel really warm when I was working with ISEC in Estonia. And no, I don't have that much negative points. Maybe I can say the organizational ISEC knowledge, but I don't know the current situation that much from that time. So yeah, that would be my answer.
Thank you so much, Nida. Your time is over now. You can go. Thank you so much for Bye. Great. Thank you so much, people, for the first round.
Guys, please unmute yourself and make some noise for people when they come. Please, please, so they feel really welcomed.
Thank you, Leah. Okay, so guys, we will have a second applicant. That is Kakinda Andrew. So he will be joining us in few seconds. As mentioned by Olia, it would be really nice from our side to welcome them really warmly. So just make sure you unmute and also mute back when you are done with cheering and all this thing. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kakinda joined the call. For plenary people, you can see the link of YouTube video is already here. So even if you could not ask the question during the presentation sort of Q&A round, what you can do, you can put in the comment box, just write down the name of applicant and then ask the question. So that way you can still ask the question to all the applicants in the comment box of the YouTube video, and they will answer all the question that is related to their question. So please spread this message to your members and make sure that if someone have any question, they can ask the question in the YouTube comment box, write down the name and the question, and they will reply the question within 24 hours of the election. Cool. Hello, Andrew.
Hi.
Welcome.
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 Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thank you, guys. Yes. Andrew, I see someone taking coffee. It seems it's very cold outside.
It snowed just like an hour ago, so.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining this MC election. So how it's going to be, you will have total 20 minutes for yourself, 5 minutes for presentation, and 15 minutes for questions around. So you can share the screen and you can present yourself. Just make sure that you respect the time. All the best.
Okay.
And you can
All
start
right.
presentation once you feel comfortable. You can take some 30 seconds, 1 minute, whatever you want, and feel comfortable before you start your presentation. Okay?
Okay. Okay. I think I'm now ready to present. As you all know, I'm Andrew. I'll not really go so much into who I am, because you can get that in my application. So my strategy covers 4 points, and that is one, recruitment, and then the other is capacity building. Then from capacity building, we have network management, and then we have the network engagement. So for recruitment, one, I've seen very many things have been going on in ISEC in Estonia, and some of them are good, some are not. But I think our membership is quite too low, and we need to put in more energy in recruitment. So most especially, we need to find ways of doing recruitment that are low cost. Usually we have drives in classes, we have crazy stunts so that we create this kind of attention. And then we can leverage on alumni and then members. Then we can also have members attending freshman parties, events whereby in a way of networking, you get to talk to people and invite them to join ISEC. And one thing that doesn't usually happen in ISEC is the process during that recruitment. We have people not knowing exactly what they are signing up to. They only realize later and say, oh, this is not what I signed up to. So we need to create a process that is well aligned. We need to have messages that are well aligned so that we don't have one member saying this about ISEC and then the other saying this. And that means we need to have also a recruitment team so that can handle this from the LC Tattoo and then LC Tallinn. So we have like one recruitment team. We shall also have standard operating procedures that help each person to know what step goes on after the other. Going on to capacity building, I've been in an entity where the knowledge has been so low, and then an entity that also has had a bit of low membership. So what we can do is, as an MC, we have to go back to the roots. That means we have to work with the LCs. We have to work with the LCs. We have to, in terms of strategy, in terms of operations, we have to be at the LCs instead of being managerial and then sending things to be done. Yes, that can work very well because at the same time, and these members are learning from you as you're doing. As time goes on, these members will be able to operate without your help. But with the status of the entity right now, the MC needs to go there in terms of capacity building. Going on to network management, of course, usually we do the live meetings every week. We keep communication channels open. I have an idea of having a live dashboard for everything, including finances and operations. LC Tattoo needs to know what LC Tallinn is up to. The MC needs to know what all the LCs are up to. And then the LCs need to know what the MCs also up to. What kind of trouble are they in? Right now, we need to work as one entity. That is the only way we can really grow and move out of this financial rut that we have fallen into. So apart from that, network management, in terms of performance reviews, I really wanted us to be more of informal, to have conversations with people, to understand how their performance is going, and then create a way forward. Us having days that you're supposed to be reviewed, usually sometimes schoolwork comes into that. So our work should be able to blend in with the school life. Moving on to engagement, I know I've read and I've watched that people in Estonia usually don't talk much to each other. But in ISEC, we live as a family. If there's no engagement, if we can't watch over each other's back, if at all we can't have interest in others, in their development, then ISEC won't really work out because, as we know, the youths of these days need what they call a belonging. Some are insecure, some are looking for somewhere to belong. So ISEC should become this organization that where someone can belong. So there are various ways of engaging people, either through meetups, either through the LC coaching, or the parties, or the various conferences. The MC should be there. The more we are together, the more we work together, we are going to create that.
Thank you so much. I will need to interrupt you because 5 minutes are over, and now we will have to go to the question round.
Okay, please go on.
And
you so
first,
much,
please, MCP.
Thank you so much, Rina, for the time reaching. Okay, so Andrew, the first question from MC Select. So, what's your strategy to manage first 90 days of your term? That is starting from 1st August.
Okay, so
You
why
can
first?
take 1 minute to think, actually. Sorry.
All right. Okay. Okay. So my first 90 days One is to get in touch with the people on ground, like who are already in Estonia. I need to understand the work culture. I need to understand how they work. I need to understand how the LCs are working so that I can blend in. I don't want to bring my kind of culture that will not connect very well, because that will come off badly and my first 90 days might end up being very futile. So I need to understand the work culture. I need to understand the people on a personal level so that for the coming days, I can be able to work with them closely. So that is my first strategy. If people know me, then we can work together. The second one is to keep the communication channels open. I want people to give me feedback in terms of my work culture and how I'm fitting into the team. With that kind of feedback, I can be able to adjust very well to how the LCs and how everyone at MC is working. I think for the technical bit of it, it's a know-how, I know that, but mostly it is how I relate with those people and then leverage on the relationships to make sure that I achieve the goals that I've set in my first 90 days. So it's just as simple as that, leveraging on the relationships that I will make in these first 90 days.
Thank you so much.
Now Tallinn can ask their question.
Okay, thank you for presentation first. Besides the live dashboard you mentioned, how are you planning to connect the MC with LC Tartu and LC Talon? Because I can't see how a live dashboard is going to make us as one entity by itself.
Okay, so usually the dashboard is to assist people in seeing the results, whether there's performance going on. But then during meetings, usually we have like board meetings. We invite everyone to be part of those meetings so that if LC Tatu has a problem, it can be, we can have suggestions from LC Tallinn. You get it? So that at the end of the day, you realize we can count on each other. If at all something is not working, probably if there are no finances in LC Tatu and LC Tallinn has some, they could be able to loan you that money and then you work out your problem. So when we have board meetings, every LC should be on board and every LC should be able to contribute to the growth of the other LC. Maybe to add on that, usually I like the physical touch points, except conferences. We can have the LCs visit each other. I don't know how many times those from Tallinn go and visit those from Tatu, but as I've said, people in ISEC, usually it's the belonging, it's the connection, knowing that there are youths who are in the same thing like you, who are working towards the same goal like you. With that kind of connection and know-how, people are connected very well to achieve a possible goal that might not happen if at all they feel alone.
Thank you.
LC Tartu can ask their question.
So in your applications under the functional questions, number 4, you say that the next step is to set up a system or dashboard that allows people to track and monitor the progress at all times without the team leaders or MC having to calm them. Now, we have had dashboards in the past.
Silver, I must stop you. You are too far away. The applicant cannot hear your question.
Exactly, it's too far away. His voice is in the background.
So in the application under the functional questions, number 4, you mentioned that the next step is to set up a system or dashboard that allows people to track and monitor their progress at all times without the team leaders or MC having to hound them. Now we have a dashboard right now in the TM function, but it's not really being used outside of the people who are actually really related to the dashboard, so people in TM. So how will you ensure that it's actually relevant to the people who you share it with and it's actually useful for them and they will actually use it?
Okay, creating the dashboard is the first point of it, but people actually, as you've said, engaging and using it is the next problem. So one thing is once these results are available to everyone, have a conversation. Okay, I could call, I think it's Silver there, I could call him and say, boss, so here is the performance for your portfolio for maybe for this week. Is there anything you can say about it? So he will actually tell me something, and then I'll also have to talk to the members. I usually don't like calling the LCVP, then I take his word as the Holy Grail. So you have to engage the members when the results are out to get a feel about their opinion, so that they feel that their word matters. So they can be reminders, or it can be in form of reports sent every week to every member, even if it is in a portfolio that does not really concern you. But it goes way forward to show that we are in this together, so you should be able to understand how your contribution in this function affects the other. So it's probably that physical touch point that that is not really happening. But I believe if you ask for everyone's opinion, when results come out, people will be engaged.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. MC team can ask their question.
I can
Okay.
go. So Andrew, imagine the situation.
Okay.
You receive an information that members in the entity overall are demotivated, and you know that you are demotivated too as an MCVP, and you know that the summer peak is coming. What would be your 3 steps to make sure that members are engaged for the summer peak?
Okay. Okay. So about the demotivation, one, I would like to understand why they're demotivated. I think most times it's because they lack the know-how. They lack the know-how, and then it kind of pushes them in a corner not to know what to do and not to have that kind of motivation. So usually one thing is the LC coaches need to go down there and show these people that this is how things are done. If the members feel that you understand their position, but this can be done, then they'll go on with it. And then one, revise the goals. Sometimes the goals demotivate. They are in so large in number that members don't know the actual steps to go through. So help the members break down into very simple steps that can be done per day without demotivating you or giving you that mental fatigue before you even start. So one, breakdown of the simple goals. Two, tracking those goals. If at all someone achieves even just one goal, we need to celebrate it. We need to appreciate them for what they have done so that it will push them to add on more onto those goals. So that is it. Understanding the people and then helping them break down the goals, and then probably going on ground to show them, yes, it can be done. Then rewarding them or recognizing them for the achievements they have made, even if they have made very little steps. Those would be my steps.
Thank you, Andrew, for your answer. Last question we have from anyone can ask Tartu Talin MC. Anyone want to ask any last question?
Nothing from my side.
Okay.
Yes, we can. Go closer.
Yeah, a bit.
Okay, so you wrote that stop email marketing. What did you mean by that? And why?
Oh, email marketing, is that under, I think, for products? Yeah, I think I wrote that under products. So the thing is, once people have signed up and are going through this whole customer flow, you need to keep them engaged. Okay, so let's say the first email you've talked about is probably you're inviting them for an interview, and then the next email is for acceptance. The next email would be about telling them how awesome the country they're going to go to is going to be, or what they're going to find, or giving them extra information. So you keep them engaged, and they feel like you're really trying to help and prepare the kind of experience that you want them to have in those countries. And then yeah, I think that is it, because I remember I wrote it under the product section. Is that it?
Thank you so much, Andrew, for your answer. You cannot cross again the question or answer, whatever. Fine.
Sorry.
But still we have time for one more question. So who want to take this opportunity? One more question.
Okay.
I have a question for you regarding the your coaching envisioning. What OD or coaching model, sorry, you're envisioning for LCs, and relating it to dealing with the motivation and demotivation of members? What would be the way of delivering the coaching framework for LCs?
Okay. So the coaching model is just in a simple few steps. Usually we study what the LC is, the direction of the LC, and then we look at which people in the MC really fit in that kind of direction. So if we have, let's say, an LC that wants to do more of partnership development, we can't have the TM being the LC. So that has to be, we have to let someone doing PD to be their coach. And then there are surveys that we usually take, or going by the results, we can understand what problem the LC is going through, and then we can tailor the trainings, or we can change the coach depending on that, depending on the problem. How we can deliver the coaching? So it's in many ways. One is physical, the other is through different media, either shooting videos, or I like one where you're doing with the people, okay? Because people need to be inspired that these things can be done. Sometimes when you deliver like documents, people misinterpret, or they misinterpret or interpret in their own way. So it gives this kind of mental fatigue because you don't understand how the things are going. So those would be about 3 ways how the coaching will be delivered.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for your answer. Thank you so much for showing up for this election. Guys, cheer up for Andrew.
Thank you.
Woo, thank you.
Andrew, you can leave the call. Hello, Andrew, can you hear me? Okay, meanwhile, third applicant, Princess, she will join us in a few seconds. People, thank you so much. Meanwhile, if you guys want to drink water, within 1 minute, you can drink water and join back. Again, just a reminder, all the people from LC, MC, oh, okay. I will do reminder later. Fine. So, welcome, Princess, to the call. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Welcome to MC
Hi.
Election. Woo!
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us for this election. So, how it will go? You will have total 20 minutes to present yourself. So, 5 minutes for your presentation and 15 minutes for question answer round. Is that okay?
Yes.
Cool. So, whenever you feel comfortable, you can take 30 seconds, 1 minute time. And once you are comfortable, you can start with your presentation. Okay? Thank you so much, Princess.
All right. Thank you. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear
Hello.
you.
Okay.
Yes, we
Thank
can
you.
hear.
Good afternoon. My name is Adebo Singh, and I'm applying for MCVP Finance for ISEC in Estonia for the term 1920. So my plans for the term 1920 for ISEC in Estonia is to work on improving our members, and I intend to also work on partnership development and financial sustainability. So the strategies that I intend to incur in ensuring members' development is firstly, we have just few members in the finance for the entity. So the first thing I intend to do is to work with the MCVP TM, LCP, and the LCVP TMs to actually come up with a way of recruiting more members so we can have few more members in finance. Then I intend to organize online weekly virtual trainings for my members to develop them more. I intend to create a job description for them and a team structure because that would actually help them to know what they are supposed to do as a finance member. Then I also intend to organize finance summits for them to actually come and learn more about the functional areas. Then I would also create NST and leadership opportunities for us to bring in well-trained individuals to come and help us train our members more in the finance field. Then I would create weekly activity memo for them, create goals for them on weekly basis, and I would also follow up to get feedbacks on it and how well they have been able to work on it. And I would also help them to actually solve some of the problems that might hinder them from achieving their weekly goals. Then I would provide them with educational materials that would help them as well, practical runs that they can easily go through and get to learn things from. And also, I would encourage them because they can't be first. They are individuals on their own that have school stuff to deal with. So I would encourage them to complete the LCVP Finance Academy because that would go a long way to also help them have a better understanding of their functional areas. Then on monthly basis or quarterly basis, I would be giving rewards and recognitions to them because that would encourage them to want to work more when they find some of their team members actually getting recognitions and rewards on monthly basis. So that would also want others to also want to do something. It would be like a competition that would motivate them to actually want to work. Then on monthly basis, I would be doing consultancy spaces with LCs to find out the issues that are affecting them, tender it before the other MCs. That would also help me to create strategic ideas on how they can find solutions to those problems. Then I would get back to them on it. So through all these, our members, if I do all this for them, I believe that I also went through the same thing and they would be able to actually improve themselves and see that they are actually making an impact and their views in the organization. And that would even help us to have an high retention rate because being idle actually discourages people from continue with an organization like us. So for partnership development, the first thing I would do is to synergize with the MCBPPD to realign the image of the organization with its existing partner. So currently, the entity does not have an MCBPPD, and so there is really not much going on about our partnership. So I intend to actually have a close relationship with our partners, make them see why we still need them and how we can be of help to them. Then I would review the collaboration times we have with our organization to make sure that we have with our partners to make sure that we are actually delivering 100% quality services to them. And I would create a team, a committee, and the committee would work on a prospect list of companies and organizations that we can work with. And with this prospect list, we can use our alumni contacts, and we can actually use our individual helps to get across to these companies, know how we can be of help to them, how we can grow them, and sell our GT and GE opportunities to them. That is what I intend doing for partnership development. Then for financial sustainability, which is very, very important, I have come to realize that the main source of revenue for the organization is donations and grants. So I intend to diversify the revenue stream of the organization, which we can do by making ISEC branded products at conferences, national conferences and international conferences. There are some necessity products that we can make available at conferences that people can actually buy. Then we can create programs after we've sourced for partners and we've been able to get new partners with the help of the MCBPD and other team members that will work together on getting partners, we would run programs that can actually generate income for the organization. And I do not believe that there is need for us to make our incoming exchange free. We can actually subsidize the price, but I do not think we need to make it free. So we have to come up with a plan on how.
I have to stop you here because 5 minutes are over and we need to go to the question round. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And MCPA, you can ask your question.
Thank you so much, Rina, for the time bitching. So my first question to you is, to being a CFO, how you're expecting your weekly focus for first month in terms of GDPR compliance?
In terms of
GDPR compliance preparation.
Hello?
I will repeat my question. As a CFO, what are your weekly focus to prepare for GDPR compliance implementation?
Okay, for GDPR compliance implementation, for my first time, I intend to actually, sorry, I can't get this wrong. I do not know the full meaning of GDPR.
Again. GDPR compliance that we have to comply. So what are your weekly focus for first month, August, in the month of August? What is going to be your weekly focus to implement GDPR in the entity?
Okay, for my first month, the first thing I need to do for my first month is to actually work on getting updates from my members and getting to know them more and how they actually operate in the entity. Can you hear me?
Yes. You're finished with your answer, right?
Yes.
Then Tallinn can ask their question now. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. So I just wanted to ask that there are multiple financial forms and legalities that are all in Estonian and they're not available in English. So how are you planning to deal with that?
Okay, so for me, I know I might have issues with language because of the language barrier, but the first thing I need to do is part of my finance team. I actually communicate with them well now, some of the members in finance. So with their help, I think I would be able to actually understand what I have in the document. And for me, the NSTs that I'm going to be picking, I'm going to make sure that I'm able to encourage some of my members in Estonia to actually apply for my NSTs because they can help me with this kind of issues when I ask.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now Tartu can ask their question.
So hello, thank you for your presentation. We would like to ask, why did you pick Estonia? Considering, you know, what kind of situation we already are, financial and everything. So yeah, why did you pick Estonia?
Sorry, I didn't hear that, please. I didn't hear very well.
So the question was...
Hello?
So the question was, why did you pick Estonia?
Okay. Why did I pick Estonia, right? Hello?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. Actually, I would say this that from 2018, when I checked the application of Estonia, I checked very late, so I couldn't apply. But I saw that the current MCP said the entity was actually driving towards growth, towards being a high performer, and towards being recognized and all. So I was so motivated about that because I'm an individual that actually likes growth, that actually likes working towards a particular thing and making sure that we're able to achieve this goal. So that was why I picked the entity, because after following up on people, I realized that there is need for improvement in the entity. And I believe that it would not only be an opportunity for me to actually improve the entity, but it would be an opportunity for me to also develop myself and to also see that I'm able to give back to the organization that has developed me so well. So I picked ISEC in Estonia because I realized that I could actually contribute to the entity. Thank you.
Thank you. Can MC ask their question as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So based on the situation of the entity right now, as a finance person, you should have an overlook of the product that the entity is running, the members. CFO is, I would say, the head of the body, so the person who should understand everything. So as applying for this position, could you tell us, please, what product brings the most profit to Estonia? And is there a point to focus on that product or not?
What product brings in profit and what, sorry?
What product brings the most profit to ISEC in Estonia? And should ISEC in Estonia focus on running it or no?
Okay, the currently in the entity, the product that brings more profits to the entity is outgoing exchange. So for me, I would not say outgoing exchange should actually bring the organization presently. Although outgoing exchange is gaining profit for the organization, but it's not bringing a large profit for the organization because the incoming exchange does not actually bring in any profit for the organization because they do not pay for it. So for me, I feel based on the opportunities that is available in Estonia, if we can actually tap into these IGT opportunities and even IG opportunities, because we have a large number of startup companies in Estonia, we should get more income from e-commerce exchange. And if we work on our marketing as well, online marketing, and create more awareness, people would actually know about Estonia. Because me applying for this entity, I told a lot of people, and some people don't really know about this entity. So I believe if we work on our marketing, where people can actually think of coming to Estonia for their exchange opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Olia, and thank you for your answer. MCP Mayang, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Nina. So my question to you again, about after 2 months, as you can see in the application that we have mentioned that all MCVPs will be provided with accommodations, they will be provided with salary. So considering, assume the situation that after 2 months you have not earned any income, you don't have any money in your bank account. What would be your action as a CFO to continue the whole MC team working without salary or without having money in the bank account?
Okay. So on my personal part, I would say I do not have issues with getting paid or not. But for the team as a CFO, I would say since the entity provides opportunity for MC members to actually work on part-times, what I would do is I am always really open to helping people. So I would talk to the other team members so we can cover up for others if they actually have to do part-time job to sustain themselves. Then I will work with MCVPPD to actually see if we can source for partnership that will help us to cover up some of our MC expenses.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does Talian want to ask one more question?
Yes. So I wanted to ask about the IGT function because we're currently not doing it. So I'm wondering what are your plans for it once you start?
What are my plans for what, sorry?
The IGT function, Incoming Global Talent.
Okay, for the incoming global talent, what I intend to do is, like I said before when I was saying my slide, I said I'll create a committee. This committee would actually prepare a prospect list of companies that we can work with, of companies that we think they can take in our interns. Then we try and find a way to understand what part of growth the company actually needs at that particular time. So if we can figure out the objectives of those companies and see how we can, the team together with the committee, we would work on actually getting a way to bring in to propose an idea to the company that would help them to solve their problems or any issue they might have, and it would also help them to also attain their objective. So if we can come up with a prepared proposal on that, we can actually present it to these people, or we can use our alumni contact. If we have alumni, we would also submit our prospect list to our alumni, just in case they have people they know in those companies that can actually help us, give us information that would help us with our idea process. We use our alumni contact to them. We can do that, and I believe we should be able to, if we start with a prospect list of like 20, we should be able to get maybe like 3 or for a start that would want to work with us. So I intend using that prospect list first. Then if things doesn't work out that way, then we have to come up with another thing. But I believe when I see the reality of a particular situation, I found solutions to it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Question from Tarto.
Yeah. What kind of person are you at the party?
Sorry?
What kind of a person are you at the party?
At the party?
Yes.
Okay. I would say at parties, I'm always very free with people. Yes, I'm always very free with people compared to when I'm out of parties, because we have a lot to drink and we have a lot of music and I like dancing. So I'm a very free person when I'm at parties.
Thank you. MC, do you have question?
I do have a question. Sorry, I forgot my mic muted. Yeah, so my question is going to be related to the financial model. What financial model are you gonna you envision for the entity, and you're trying to, or you will try to implement if you get selected?
I didn't get that. You said my
Financial model
okay.
that you are envisioning for the entity and for keeping sustainability also.
Okay, so for the entity to be sustainable, I intend to work on ensuring that we're able to get a lot of means to generate revenue for the organization.
Sorry for interruption. My question,
Okay.
the big part is related to the financial model.
Okay.
What is the financial model that you are envisioning for the entity?
Okay, the financial model for the entity is I intend. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can
hear you.
Okay, thank you. The financial model that I intend to do is creating a subsidized rate for ISECers compared to non-ISECers, and for exchange programs. And I also intend to make provide members that are able to bring in 3 EPs per term to get a subsidized price for exchange opportunities as well. So, and I intend not to make the IGV free for interns. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time joining for the time selection, Princess. Thank you so much. Guys, give it up for Princess.
Thank you.
Yay, thank you. Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can leave the call now, Princess. Hello, Sebastian. Thank you so much for joining MC Selection. Welcome,
I'm
everyone.
coming.
From MC
Welcome.
Selection.
Yay, hello.
Good day. Yeah, good afternoon from good evening from Nigeria.
Sebastian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good afternoon. Good evening from Nigeria.
Good evening, Sebastian. So
Hello.
the flow of election would be total 20 minutes you will have. Out of 20, 5 minutes you will have for your presentation and 50 minutes for question answer round. Is that clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what you can use your screen to share your presentation if you want, and you can start your presentations once you feel comfortable. You can take 30 seconds, 1 minute to arrange yourself, and then you can start the presentation.
Okay. So let me see if I can start. So I don't know. Can you see my screen? So this is my screen. I don't know if you can see it.
We can see your screen.
Yep,
Okay.
we can.
Okay. So basically, this is me, Sebastian Mukwabu. Actually, I've had experiences within ISEC. ISEC Abuja was my first experience. I was local community vice president for outgoing exchange. And I was able to gain knowledge of customer experience management with other experiences and that concern international relation management. Then for NST, I've had NST position for ISEC in Azerbaijan, showcase team manager. Then ISEC in France, I was the African relation manager, as well as ISEC in Malawi. So all those are my experience with ISEC in Moldova. Then my hobbies are trekking, then doing research about ISEC as well. Then my major focus for the term includes university relations. So my aim is that I'm going to synergize with all universities through the public relation officer for universities, and also see how we can bring up a very good blueprint that will synergize, enable the university to synergize committee, so that they'll have to align the timeline of the academic calendar with else able to effectively synergize and grow exchange, especially ISEC in Brazil, the likes of Belgium, likes of Turkey, and so on. Then education. The education cycle is this. Like we're going to see how I'm going to effectively implement it through the synergy with TM. During conferences, we're going to educate them on SPP, Exchange Program Policy. Then also educate them on customer experience management as well as the customer flow implementation process. So they'll gain productive knowledge about exchange. Then winter and summer alignment. The aim is that there will be alignments with summer in case the winter was sorry, there will be alignments with winter in case the summer aim was not achieved, so that there won't be regret or drawback in terms of exchange implementation. So at the end up achieving our goal together with both season be sustainable. The exchange pricing is well, suitable for APs to pay, and there's no challenge in terms of them paying. So that way there will be profitability and also people who keep on paying for exchange will go on exchange. Then it will be aligned to the global financial GF Global Financial Board, GFB. Then strategic plan is this: synergy with PD to ensure that we have partnership in university and also ensure that people are able to gain scholarship scheme from university as well for exchange. Then TM for education, BCSP for brand awareness on campus. The aim is to ensure that awareness, and we are going to ensure how we can exchange it with prosperousness, especially the IR partnership. When it comes to exchange, we're going to synergize with those that are productive, that are having good projects at hand, so that we can easily send our EPs for exchange. And also, we're going to ensure that we implement exchange that have to do with customer experience satisfaction, and exchange standards are being implemented in the process. So I have a very good will when it comes to exchange. The OGX as a focus product. The aim is that we're going to ensure that we implement OGS as a focus product for all local chapters and also national level, so that we can make the product much more sustainable and productive. At the end, we're going to grow exchange through making it a focus product. Then IR partnership management and national alignment. The aim is that we're going to allow local entity chapter will partner with local committee under the partnership arrangement, which will be done through a web tool. So that way we're having a model that will be developed for IR. Then
Sorry
team
for
standard
interrupting
implementation is
you.
one of the very productive in that
Thank you
way.
so much. But the
Okay,
time is over,
these are
and now we need to
my
switch to the questions
projects
round.
for that.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Did you hear what I said?
Okay.
Yeah. So the presentation time is over, and we switch to the questions round. And
Yeah.
please, Mayank, ask your question.
Hello, Sebastian. So, based on your previous experience being ECB chair of ISEC in Moldova, what were the good case practice and bad case practice you will carry forward for ISEC in Estonia?
Sorry, I didn't get the point of the question clearly.
I will repeat the question. So, considering your previous experience as the ECB chair of ISEC in Moldova, so what are the good case practice and bad case practice you will implement or not implement in ISEC in Estonia?
I can't. Sorry, well, maybe you just type it because network is not making me hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Sebastian, you can check the question in the comment box. What GCP, BCP from your ECB chair experience you will implement for ISEC in Estonia?
Okay. Well, the good case practice I would like to, during my experience, I had a case whereby we couldn't fulfill as ISEC in Belity, one of the entities in Moldova, had issue with ISEC in Istanbul concerning an EP that couldn't complete the exchange program. So the aim is this: I'm going to use that to I'm going to learn from that because I'm looking at setting up a value delivery team that will look into exchange and delivery, that value delivery in terms of customer flow. So that way we'll be able to prevent any case escalation, because the team will ensure that we prevent any possible SPP violation and also ensure the implementation of exchange standards in the process of possible ECB, ICB cases. So value delivery team will be established and the needed understanding about where they are going to. Okay, let me come again. GCP is this. I learned from the experience I had in Moldova, the case we had with ISEC in Istanbul. So we're able to bring up ideas on how we can avoid the cases,
Can
as
you hear
in
me?
mitigate the cases.
Sebastian, can you hear me?
Sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, please turn off your camera because
Yes,
your
I can hear you
internet.
now.
Yeah, please turn off your camera first because your internet is not stable, so we cannot hear you properly. Perfect.
Okay.
You can continue answering your question now.
Okay. Well, concerning the question you asked about my experience and how and what GCP and BCP I want to I experienced in Estonia, I want to implement in Estonia. So I look at the fact that I had ISEC in Beatty had an issue with ISEC in Istanbul. So Beatty is one of the entities in ISEC in Moldova. So where I was able to bring up initiative that help the entity or the local committee to avoid any case escalation. So the reason for that issue was because of low exchange value delivery, because they couldn't give them the needed accommodation if you did not get the needed accommodation. So I'm thinking of this. Instead of in order to prevent this kind of case in ISEC in Estonia, I'm going to have a value delivery team that would ensure effective value delivery and customer experience management. So the value delivery team will help us avoid issues that have to do with exchange violation, and also ensure the tracking of entities, local committees, to know if they are actually implementing the needed exchange standards, and also to know if the EPs are well taken care of. Then for OGX, I'm looking at having a lease management team. The lease management team will be there to ensure that the experience that know will be able to that they need to have. That they need to have with their job description.
Thank you so much, Sebastian, for your answer.
I'm not going. It will help us prevent issues where people will go for the wrong opportunity. That's why we have to have a lead management team for OGX. Then, well, as an ECB chair, I was able to gain a lot of experience that has to do with customer flow. So I'm going to ensure that I track the NST. Because I'm going to have an NST. Okay.
So the time is over. So can Tallinn ask their question now?
Yep, I typed the question just in case you don't hear me well, so I'm gonna send it now.
Thank you.
Can you confirm that you saw the question?
Sebastian, can you see the comment message box, the question over there?
I can see the question. Let me
Sebastian,
start
can
the
you hear
answer,
me?
right? Okay.
Take your time. You have
So,
1 minute.
Yeah, read the question
okay.
in the comment box.
I wouldn't say I'm going to use OGV in particular alone. I was speaking about OGX as a whole. So OGX, when I say OGX, I'm talking about most of the outgoing exchange products. I'm also going. The aim is this: we need to promote those exchanges to EPs, so that. But for let me start with OGV. You know, OGV is a volunteering experience. So in order to see OGV grow beyond what it is, we need to make it a focused product. Because my area of my job description has to do with both exchanges, right? So my aim is that I'm enable in the entity. So my aim is this: I'm going to make most of the outgoing exchange products productive by making sure that sustainable rather, by making sure that is a focused product. That way, once it's a focused product, all the team members under the commission be very, very proactive towards ensuring the growth of the product. So that's why I'm looking.
Is the general time over or just?
The general time is not over yet,
Can you
but
hear me?
is
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Sebastian, can you hear me?
Okay, I think
Okay,
it's Tartu's
perfect.
turn. So
sometimes
I'm just gonna type it in also, just in case. So you can read the question there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna read it out for a second. So what plans do you have with IGT and how to improve it?
Okay. Well, when it comes to incoming exchange, the aim is this: I'm going to ensure that IGT is productive and also sustainable. How am I going to do that? First and foremost, I'm going to ensure that when we are having, partners, we ensure that we're having sustainable partners that can ensure effective, project, productive, project that can bring people to engage in value-driven impact. So that we are going to bring up partners that are having the same passion as ISEC and also vision as ISEC. And I'm going to ensure that there is a very good international relation management in the sense that I will align the national Web2 to the local level so that when we are partnering with any entity in terms of IGT, we're going to also downscale it down to the local committees so that they will partner with local chapters with the national partners. So the national partners are what the LCs will use. I'm going to bring is the major focus, and the major focus for reducing ICT is the major focus because ICT is the most common trend in Estonia. So I can channel every project on ICT mostly if it comes to IGT. So once it's on ICT, we're going to bring up ICT firms that can help us make it very, very effective. So when we have ICT partners, we are going to like make it strictly on ICT. Any project we do, will be on ICT for IGT products. Then apart from that, there will be development of good buyer personnel.
Sebastian, are you done with your answer? Sebastian, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I need to interrupt you here because the time is over.
We use to ensure that we have a very good segmenting of
Olia has asked her question in the comment box. Please look there.
I think he left the conversation.
Yes, he did.
Okay, guys. I think we'll see if he can join in several seconds, maybe within 1 minute. If he joined, then he can answer the last question from MC. I'm calling him on WhatsApp. Hello, Sebastian. Can you hear me? Hello, Sebastian. Can you hear me? Okay. So I think we understood that there is an internet connection problem over there with candidate. So what will be the next call to action? That whatever question that we have, will proceed with YouTube video. So all questions from MC, LC, whatever question we guys have, you can put your questions in the comment box, and all applicants will answer that questions within 24 hours from now. And after that, after these questions, you can confirm your votes to go with the procedures. Regarding the fifth applicant, that applicant is traveling from one place to another place, so he's not replying right now, so he will be disqualified from this round. And if he's willing to continue, he can apply again. So this is common understanding for everyone. If anyone have any question, please ask here, or you can approach your LCP and you can redirect to the selection committee board. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this election. And we still have last 2 minutes. If anyone want to say from any LC or MC member, how was the election?
Yay, we finished. I mean, mean, not counting the last part when there was literally no connection at all, it was pretty interesting.
Thank you so much, Nina, for taking this responsibility and also for your feedback. I would like to, those who are already present here, first I will eject the applicant. Okay. So all those who are available here, thank you so much for joining this election. And maybe your feedback would be helpful for us to improve the next election that will happen. So if you have any feedback that we can improvise the election procedures, please, this is a time for you to share with us.
Maybe just like agree with the applicants on like a certain connection problems. Like if they know they will have connection problems, then they should just like schedule another time or like update to a premium service temporarily, because it's just like it doesn't show that they're prepared necessarily.
Thank you so much for your feedback. We'll consider this, but I think we had already communicated with applicants regarding internet stability and timing, but we have not got any requests. So that was the reason. But next time we'll be more careful to make sure that we can improvise applicants' experience and also experience of the plenary. Thank you so much.
Actually, Mayank, I have one feedback for you. Like, thank you for fast reaction on all the problems. That was really cool, like with the YouTube and everything.
Same, totally agree.
Thank you so much, people. Anyone else want to share? Good, bad, whatever. Feedback is a feedback for improvisation. So
I don't want feedback, but I want to again make everything clear what's gonna happen next. May I?
sorry.
Yes, please.
Okay. So what's gonna happen next, guys? As I understood, we kind of have a know-how from Mayank that people will be answering the questions that you stated on YouTube. So I guess go check YouTube for answers. Or Mayank, can you tell us where should people search for answers?
Okay, so for next 24 hours, all the questions that you have, you need to ask in the comment box on the YouTube, and the applicants will reply to that comment. So after 24 hours, you can check all your questions that being answered by the applicants, and all the board of presidents member will get one vote with the secret ballot paper. So after 24 hours, they can submit their vote.
I would maybe cut the applicants from your side a bit, like give them maybe 12 hours or something to answer, because 24-hour is the time for the people to vote. So they don't like, I don't know how many questions there will be, but just in case. So let's say we will open the election sometime maybe 9. So until 9 tomorrow evening, full members have to vote. Who are the full members? If you do not know, go to your LCP and he will tell you who is a full member. So again, how we are voting, there will be confidence and non-confidence. If you feel like you can let this person move forward for the interview with Mayank and the MC, vote for confidence. If you feel that candidate did not satisfy you at all, vote for non-confidence. How the person is passing the vote of confidence. So I don't remember by heart how many are we, but we have to be 50% plus one. I just said it so awfully. 50% plus one for the person to pass the vote of confidence. So let's say if we are 20, 11 would be enough for the person to pass for the next round. Is it clear? Clear.
Yep.
Okay, good.
So every full member has a vote?
Yes. Well, not every full member. If you are a full member LC, you have 5 votes, but Tallinn and Tartu both in this election are not full member LCs, so you have 3 votes. So even if
Okay,
you have,
thank you.
let's say, 25 full members, only 3 people can vote. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
Okay,
So just making sure of something. So if both of us constitute 6, so if both LCs like refuse the applicant, like all the votes, that wouldn't be enough. Like the MC have to refuse as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So we are how many? Oh my God, we are 4. My brain is stuck. I'm sorry, people. I cannot tell you how many are we right now. We are something like 11, I guess. Yeah. That's it from my side. Mayank, if you have anything to say.
Okay, regarding voting, I would say again, I would say it at the end, board of presidents will be the one who will make final decision. So I would say those full members who have any concerns, please approach to your LCP, MCP, and they will be the one who will clarify it further. So I think this is pretty much for common discussion as of now, and more discussion can be happen with board of presidents, and they can clarify who is the full members and how it's going to voting, because usually voting will happen with entity and full members will show the majority. So for election, I think it will go with board of presidents. What else? Any feedback? Anyone want to share now?
And just one more thing, guys. Don't be alarmed that it's March and oh my God, it's so hard to get people to the MC. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid that we didn't have like a lot of applicants. Applicants will be there. You don't have to like vote for the people for the sake of voting, okay? If you didn't like someone, it's okay, and you shouldn't let that person pass. It's better to wait a bit and find a good applicant that will serve the full year without resigning and without like all the other problems. Just give it a very good thought, so you are very sure on who are you passing, because this is actually the most important part. Usually all the applicants that were approved by you guys, by the entity, MCP will hire, like will have in the team. So to those people who you will say yes, most likely they will be on the team. So also keep this in your mind.
Thank you so much, Olia, for recommendation. I think I would say the same thing, guys. If you are putting favor for someone candidate, like just understand the meaning both. If you're putting confidence or not, I think it's very common. But if you put someone confidence, it means you think that that person is eligible to be as MC member. So you do not vote someone for as MCVP function. You qualify them. They are eligible to be a leader of MC team. So if you think if that person do not have basic qualities to be a MC member, then it's up to you how you put your vote. Use your power wisely. That's straight from my side. Thank you so much, people. I think this is it from my side. If anyone want to share anything, we can have, or we can say goodbye.
Fine from my side.
All good.
Yeah, all good. Bye bye.
All good. Bye.
Bye bye, people. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
See y'all.
everyone. Big
Bye.
hugs for Tartu and MC and future MC.
Woo!